Okay, it's about time I do an update. Had some issues with my V85 when I got it. There was an issue with the starter switch, and then the clutch failed. Bar end weight fell off just transporting it home, and then the major failure was the transmission. So I've had it back now for a few weeks. It was at the dealer for 11 weeks, and it was a battle to get these problems covered under warranty. And the reason why is the dealer said that it was abuse was involved, and that was because of all the dents in the bash plate. So I'm going to show you the bash plate. As you can see, it's not all dented up like the dealer said it was. So I guess the real issues got down to a reputable dealer and then Moto Guzzi not having real great customer service. I went all the way to the top with Piaggio Group North America and dealt with Willie Aramayo. So I don't plan on ever having to use Moto Guzzi customer service again. Not impressed with them, but they did eventually warranty the bike. So the issue with the starter, I've got the bike back now with the repaired starter. The starter switch is a lot more firm than the previous one felt, so a little softer. I think there was an issue with the mounting bracket to start with when I got it. Also, I made a video recording on how to activate the ride modes. If you listen to that video, you can definitely hear there's a rattling with the clutch. I thought that was supposed to just be the sound that you get out of a dry clutch. That is not the case with enclosed dry clutch. It should not sound like that. So you can compare the two. I'll start it up here and you can listen to it. So as you can see, there's not that rattling with the dry clutch that you can hear with that other video. So it clearly had an issue with the clutch before the transmission failed. The transmission ended up having about 70 cc's of oil in it, and I had to fight them. Moto Guzzi's claim was that I drained the oil out of the transmission and then rode it till it failed. My argument to them was that for the viscosity of the oil to change and become a very thick tar-like consistency like had happened, it would take quite a few miles for that to happen. They didn't think that their transmission would have lasted 1,788 miles with no oil, and I kept on having to tell them it had some oil. What's their reference point to how long a transmission would last of theirs with 70 cc's of oil? Quite frankly, I think the bike is built very well if it's sent from the factory properly and tested at the dealer. So right up until the day before I picked the motorcycle up, I wasn't sure whether I would be paying for it or not. When the new transmission arrived, they said that it had 70 cc's of oil in it, and at that point they had no problem covering under warranty. And then after I picked the bike up, they actually admitted that Moto Guzzi had a few transmissions that left the factory with 70 cc's. So ultimately it came down to a combination of the dealer and also the Moto Guzzi sending out transmissions with low oil. So if you there's a few bikes out there then that could have the same issue that mine had, especially if they didn't have a dealer that did a proper PDI, which in my case they clearly didn't. It only had 0 miles on it when I picked it up, and a reputable dealer riding a motorcycle for at least 5 miles would have detected the clutch issue and also noticed the problem with the transmission. When I got the motorcycle back, I noticed the difference immediately. So here's the deal. If you have a V85 where the transmission sounds a little louder than it should in first gear, that's the only thing I could tell the difference once I got it back, is first gear was louder than what it should have been, or at least currently is. And that clutch should not have any rattling sound to it at all. As a dry clutch, it is not the same as an open dry clutch. So anyway, I've put a few thousand miles on it since then, and like I say, absolutely love this motorcycle. Highly recommend it. The only issues I would warn someone about when they buy it is just make sure you got a reputable dealer, because I think if I had had a reputable dealer starting out, I would not have dealt with these issues, and any issues that did crop up, I wouldn't have had them trying to cover it up by blaming me for abusing the motorcycle. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and enjoy riding.